I'm Alexandra Bash. I'm the Director of Product Management here at HighWire. Today we're going to talk about some of the latest exciting developments to our Scolaris hosting solution. And that will include how it's designed to showcase and manage all different types of content. I'll also talk about how Scolaris supports automated content ingestion to simplify and speed up your publication process. I'll run through how you can benefit from our very active roadmap development and how your users can access more of your content through powerful search and discovery. Before we go through and plunge in, just want to let you know that I'll be happy to answer questions at the end of the presentation. You can submit your questions anonymously using the questions box on the GoTo panel. And we'll also list a couple of resources for follow-up that you may find interesting, and those will be on the final slide. So you can take a look at those as well. So, before we go straight to Scolaris, I want to talk a little bit about HighWire's intelligent publishing platform. And I want to give you some context about where that sits within the HighWire ecosystem. Using open architecture, the intelligent publishing platform delivers innovative digital assets that work together to create superior user experiences that give you remarkable user engagement, and in addition, exciting new revenue opportunities, both immediately and well into the future. In creating a platform this way, it means we are able to bring different components together to meet the needs of our customers. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. The ability to plug different components of the platform together helps create a flexible framework on which to build your site, and one that we're continually updating. Our ability to release new features and functionality across the platform help reduce the need for complex customizations, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's talk now about Scolaris. And Scolaris is a multi-content hosting solution. Well, what does that mean? It means that you can have all of your content together in one place, and that improves the user experience by enabling your users to find all the information all at one time. It provides an end-to-end solution, so we have easy integration with HighWire modules like HighWire Identity and HighWire Commerce. And in addition, you can manage all of your content through a single CMS to improve efficiency and reduce costs. In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about a few different aspects of the multi-content hosting solution, and then we'll walk through a live demo where you can see how this looks on the site. So let's talk first about unifying all of your content. We often hear from publishers who are looking for a way to pull all of their content together. Many publishers have a combination of content types, such as books and journals, but they may not have them on the same site or even, in many cases, on the same platform. Some publishers have additional content types, such as databases, audio and video, or even case studies. They currently have no way to bring those together. Pulling that content onto the same site and making it searchable and discoverable together has many benefits for the publishers, and I'll walk through a couple of those. The first is in terms of marketing and awareness. With a single site and a single URL, your marketing team can more effectively drive traffic for all the content to one destination and reduce their dilution of effort required to direct customers to multiple different sites. In addition, the best known types of content can help you market other types. And so for many publishers, they have what we'll call flagship content, content that is better known than the rest, but they have many other types of content that they could market to their customers. So if, for example, you as a publisher are best known for your journals, you can easily show a user reading journal articles related content in books or in other content types. Another advantage I mentioned earlier is the ability to discover your content together. So you can search all of your content at the same time. With a single search, the user can see how much content is available in each content type and choose to look at any particular content type. Scolaris allows you to take advantage of taxonomies to tag your content so that your content is easily browsable. You can use synonyms to make it more discoverable, and a host of other search features such as facets. And here on the screen you can see facets running down the left-hand side, as well as Boolean searching, which allow users to search directly for the content they're interested in. Search is part of the platform and can be configured per publisher by adjusting relevance to weight what is most important to that publisher and their users. So I mentioned earlier how effective it is to be able to use your resources to manage content through a single CMS. For many publishers, managing all of their content can be challenging, particularly if that content is stored in different systems, which means their internal staff have to learn and maintain different systems. Publishers often need to create and edit their own marketing and policy content in the site, and they need a fast and efficient self-service tool to allow them to make editorial and marketing changes as needed. Scolaris has an easy-to-use self-service tool that allows publishers to create new pages, add images, change menus, and update content. Since publishers often need to update editorial policies, add information about their content, or provide information for different types of users. So, for example, you might have students as an audience, authors, or even advertisers. This gives you the ability to tailor the message to those users. Scolaris also has role-based access, so different types of users can have different types of access. Reviewers, for example, might need read-only access, but editors might need permission to change the content. And this comprehensive tool puts a publisher in the driver's seat for content management. So now that we've talked a little bit about how some of the key components work, we'll take a look at them on a live site. And I'm going to show you a multi-content site which is totally integrated with HighWire Identity and HighWire Commerce. And this is the Springer Publishing Company Connect site. It has books and journals. And you can see on this site that you have a subject taxonomy. You can use that subject taxonomy to browse. And here you can see the top level is medicine, but you have sub-levels available to you that you can browse through to get down to the more specific information that you're looking for as a user. You can also see that in this site we have multiple content types, books and journals, can feature latest articles, and you can see the cover information for books and journals. So let's take a look at a journal site. Now this is the top level page for a journal, and you can see the metadata for the journal and a brief description of the journal. You can also see information about the latest articles, a listing of all the issues, and information on how to submit an article or information on more detailed information on the journal. And when I mentioned the CMS tool earlier, this is the kind of information that the publisher can use that self-service tool to provide. So information on how to submit an article is publisher generated. In addition, you can go directly to the latest issue. And let's go ahead and do that. And so now you can see the most recent issue here. You're still not at the article level, but we can click into an article in this issue. So we'll go ahead and take a look at an article. And we'll take a look at this one. So now we're at the article level. And you can see that there is an abstract for the article. You have options to download the PDF if you have access. But you can also see related content. And this can relate your content not just to other articles, but also, as you can see, to books or chapters. So this is a way to surface content from your other content types that might not otherwise be exposed. So you can browse to get to the information that you are looking for, but of course you have search available to you at all times. So let's go ahead and do a search. And you can see that as I type, there's a drop down that is a type ahead that will show me what is available. I'm going to go ahead and click on clinical competence. And now you can see the search results. So in the search results, you can see all of the different types of content available. You can see the facets, and the facets can be specific to the publisher. And you can see the search results as well as ways to order the search results. So I could order them by title, for example. Or by relevance, as well as date. So looking at the number of results, I'm thinking that might be a lot to go through. So I am going to limit this to book chapters. And now I can see that my search results are significantly reduced, but maybe I want to be more specific. So I'll also will filter by keyword. And now it will show me the list of all of the available keywords, and I can select multiple keywords or a single keyword. In this case, I'm going to select a single keyword and apply that to my search. And now I have a more manageable number of very specific search results. So at this point, I can go ahead and click into those search results. And now I am at the very specific chapter level. Again, I can see that there is an abstract, but here I also see, because this is a book, the table of contents. And if we scroll down, you can see it's quite a long table of contents, but we also see the keywords associated for this chapter, and I can use those to narrow my search as well. In addition, you can see that there is supplementary data available, and you can attach supplementary material to your content, whether it is books or journals. In this case, I'm going to take a look at the supplementary material, and I can see that that is an instructor's manual and instructor's PowerPoints. when I click on the information, I can see that I have to be, I must purchase the instructor's edition to have access to this content. So you can constrain who has access to particular content. That doesn't have to be true for supplementary material. You could make that available for everyone, or you can restrict it and make it available to specific people. Now, you probably have noticed that there is a large yellow bar sitting here. And that tells me that I don't have access to this content. I haven't logged in, so I'm going to go ahead and see what options I have available. And I have a number of options. If you wanted to have access by voucher, this is something that this publisher has done. So an individual who has a voucher could redeem it. Or if I just wanted to purchase, I could purchase either a chapter or the entire book. And they have different pricing. And there's a self-service UI that publishers have that lets them set the pricing themselves. And they can change that or adjust it at any time. And it's entirely self-service. So I'm going to go ahead and add this item to my cart. And you can see now that that item is in the cart. And it will tell you if you have taxes. There are tax options. If you were in the UK, you might want to turn on VAT. If you're in the US, you can have US tax options available as well. But in order to purchase this, I need to log in. So I'm going to go ahead to my account. And now you can see a small box at the top of the screen, and this is integration with our HighWire Identity product called Sigma. And what that does is it manages the identity and permissions for everyone in the site. So it knows what I have access to. And at this point, since I'm not logged in, I don't have access. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And if I've typed correctly, the system will let me in. And now you can see that it has taken that item out of my cart. And it knows to do that because once I'm logged in, it knows I have access for that information, and it's not going to let me purchase something I already own. So here, the intelligent platform is actually tracking that for me, and it'll pull it out of the cart because I have access. And now I can see the full text of the information because I'm logged in. And if I had purchased the item, I would also have access to the full text of that information. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch back, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other aspects of the Scolaris platform. And the first one I want to talk about is automated content ingestion. So this is one of the significant advantages of having HighWire hosting and having the HighWire hosting platform. You have automated content ingestion for all types of content. So what does that do for you? Well, the first thing it does is it reduces the time that you spend on loading content and allows you additional time to focus on other value-adding activities. You can create custom rules to catch problem content before it goes live. So we validate the content as it goes through the system. And you can use the self-service UI to access reporting, and you can set go live dates for content so that you can preview content before it goes live. Let's take a look at some of that in some more detail. So this is an example of a dashboard from our HighWire Express tool, which allows publishers with multiple content types to use the same self-service tool on all of their content to automatically load updates as frequently as they need to. You might update your content once a week, you might update it once a month. It varies per publisher. That content is validated both by standard rules that we have to make sure the content is well formed, and rules that can be custom to the publisher to ensure that bad or missing content is not ending up on their site. This tool has a self-service UI that can be used by the publisher or their designated file provider. And if you have file providers do the markup on your content, then they would be able to correct the content as well. And we can use this to manage the loading process and see detailed reporting on any errors. The very graphic UI shows each publisher where they are in the process. Things are going well, they're green. If you have errors, they're red. And it'll let them know about any possible errors and what type of error it is. In addition, I think I mentioned you can specify the go live date for content, but before that time, you as the publisher can go in and preview that content on the site before it is available to users, so you can make sure that the content looks exactly as you had anticipated. Let's talk about continual site enhancement. Well, this is one of the significant advantages of being on a platform rather than having a custom site. When new features are added, everyone has the chance to participate. So that means that all the customers can benefit from the latest updates. Updates may be on standards or infrastructure, or they may include features. And those updates can also include the integrated modules such as HighWire Identity and HighWire Commerce. Scolaris has a modern, flexible, and easily configurable UI, but underneath that user-facing layer is a robust and powerful platform with a strong and extremely active roadmap. We're constantly expanding the capabilities of the platform, and the benefits of having the platform are too numerous to mention, but I'm going to mention a few. The first is that new capabilities become available when they are rolled out. Each individual publisher is not necessarily required to take advantage of new features, but if, for example, we added a new purchasing method, that would be available to all publishers as part of the platform. We are always updating infrastructure, and that is something that everybody takes advantage of immediately, new technologies. But we're also adding new standards to the platform so that we are compliant with the newest rules. So something like GDPR, for example, gets added to the platform, and it doesn't require any individual effort for publishers, and it doesn't have any individual cost associated with it. Platform features are completely supported through technology changes and very broadly tested, so publishers don't need to be concerned with new features impacting their existing site. Taking advantage of these new platform features makes it possible for the publisher to continually add freshness and new features to the site with a more minimal resource investment than if you're doing custom features on the site. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about the site that you saw, which is Springer Publishing. And their story is probably very similar to many of you. So Springer wanted to move their digital books program online, and they wanted to shift a large chunk of their users online. Their books program up till now had been print only, and they wanted to bring their back catalog online and support digital publishing of all future titles. So the books program also needed to integrate with the rest of Springer Publishing's portfolio of journals, so users could make the most of ancillary materials and additional components like images, videos, graphs, tables, and charts. They wanted enhanced personalization features and new self-service tools to help transform their customer experience. And that was what led them to us and into the site that they have now. So I'm just going to wrap up with a quote from the folks at Springer. And of course, we want to thank them for allowing us to showcase their site. This is from their Vice President of Digital Development. When looking for partners to digitize our range of publications, HighWire's intelligent platform was an easy choice. It gives us the ability to offer up our extensive collection of content to faculty, students, and professionals instantaneously and with ease, as well as providing us with valuable insight and data to inform our publishing process. It marks an important step for progress as technology drives demand within the professional and academic publishing sector. And with that, this is where you can find the Springer site if you want to take a look at it after this discussion. And that's going to end the presentation part. If you have questions, you can go ahead and type them in now, and we'll be happy to address them.